Hello, salutations. This is episode 11 of the brand new podcast, Discovered Voices. I'm Adam. Welcome to the place where I share the artists and creators I've discovered who may not be heard of anywhere else. They're doing great things in the world, and I like the things they're doing, so I reflect on them in each of these episodes. It is a very personal podcast, and whether you've listened before on YouTube, Patreon, or Apple Podcasts, this is the very first episode featuring an interview. Interviews are something I mentioned in the very first maybe three episodes, but due to scheduling and availability and just people out there in the world doing their things, I finally have the very first interview. It's special, it's personal, it's with a great individual. I officially have Jacob Arthur, a musician in the band Rustic Revue. I have five questions for him, and as always, what's being shared is an unedited reflection. This time, like I've been saying, via an interview, rather than just me reflecting solo on great stuff out there. So now I'm going to officially give Jacob Arthur the thumbs up to know that, hey, that preamble is done. How are you, Jacob?
I'm well, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks. Yeah, that's not one of the official questions. It's just a general, how's it going? Um,
Okay.
Yeah, it's good to know you're well, and thanks again for doing this. Usually we chat like once a month just to catch up as human beings, which is great. And it's cool that you're interested in doing an interview like this.
Yeah. Like I said, it's my pleasure. It's my first interview in English, actually. So that's exciting.
Officially, I like how it's like exciting for both of us in the same ways and also like our specific ways.
Yeah. The only interview I've done previously was for Slovak radio, which was in Slovak. So, like I said, first English interview. Exciting.
Awesome. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. It's chill. It's just us chatting. I have five questions that are pretty straightforward, but also pretty open too. So for any listeners, just know that we'll stick to those five questions. And if there's anything in between or anything after the five questions, it's just naturally Jacob and I getting into things. But are you cool to start with question number one, Jacob?
Let's do this.
Thank you. So yeah, you mentioned doing interviews in Slovak. You've mentioned that, well, you've kind of hinted at the fact that you may be in a different region than I am. We first met in the city of Toronto, where I am. So question number one is just some context. Jacob, what is your relationship with Toronto, Canada?
I lived in Toronto, Canada for a little over 2 years. Um, and I kind of consider it to be like my second home because it's a place where I learned a lot and grew a lot as a person. And I guess discovered a lot about myself and my relationship to music, and where I grew not just as a person, but also as an artist. Um, And it's also the city where I started this musical project, Rustic Revue, with my good friend Pandu Arga. And yeah, I've met lots of great people, learned many important lessons. So that's about it, I guess. It's like my second home. It's the place where I grew up. You know, I was born and raised in Slovakia, but I sort of grew up to be the man I am in Toronto.
Yeah. I like that. I think that's perfect context. Like you are back in Slovakia now, and you're originally from Slovakia. So having your musical origins in a different place of the world is really special.
Yeah, it was also a really great scene to be a part of. There are many great songwriters in Toronto out there, many great musicians. Pandu and I, we spent a lot of time playing open mics around the city. So we uh, got the chance to sort of really become a part of the local scene and, like I said, discovered many great artists who have inspired us, some of whom we've collaborated with. Yeah, it was a really great experience.
That's awesome. Yeah, thanks for giving the shout out to Pandu as well, because you were saying, um,
Yeah, it's by contract. You know, I'm obligated to mention him. I don't want to have like 100 lawyers knocking on my door tomorrow.
I like that too as context, legal context. Like we have
Yeah,
the legal power that Pandu holds
I
is
sold
100.
my soul to Pandu. You know, now I have to mention him everywhere I go.
I like that. So it's like it is a friendship that you have with Pandu
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
that's blossomed into an artistic like music pairing.
yeah. We met by complete accident. So actually, I was in Toronto for less than a week, and I was shopping for guitars because I uh, came to Toronto with no instrument, right? So I didn't really have anything to write songs on, anything to play. So I went guitar shopping, and I found myself in this shop, which is unfortunately closed now. They closed it down last year. It
Yeah.
was called Steve's Music. It was a really popular music store on Queen Street West, and I wandered into the acoustic guitar department, and Pandu was there playing the song "Girl" by the Beatles from Rubber Soul, which is my favorite Beatles album. And I started singing along, and he kind of looked up like, "Who is this guy?" And we started chatting, and we discovered we both like the same music, and we both write songs. So a couple of days later, we arranged a meeting at another store called Paul's Boutique. Shout
Hmm.
out to Paul's Boutique, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Do all the shout outs you
Great.
feel. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, shout out to Paul's Boutique. Best guitar shop in Toronto. You know, your one stop shop for vintage gear. It's where I got two of my Toronto guitars, actually. That's where I ended up buying my acoustic. But anyway, Pandu and I, we arranged a meeting in the rehearsal booth at Paul's Boutique where I played him a bunch of my songs and he played me some of his songs.
Oh, nice.
And then Paul came to kick us out because we were like, stinking up the space for too long. And on the way out of the store, while we were walking through Kensington Market, uh, we decided that, maybe we should start like writing together and playing together. And that's the origin story of Rustic Revue.
I love that. You painted it so well. Like it is such a an origin story, like magical almost, like you're star-crossed. Like he's just
I guess so, yeah. If you believe in that kind of stuff, sure.
playing, yeah, a Beatles song from your favorite Beatles album and you start singing along. Like I think it's just a nice, yeah, it's very much a core memory, I would think for you and for Bandu.
Oh, yeah. I guess we were fated to meet,
If you believe in that stuff, yeah.
if you believe in that stuff.
You ready for question number two, Jacob?
Sure, let's go ahead.
Yeah, you've chatted about artistry. You've chatted about meeting Pandu, that was the catalyst for creating Rustic Revue as a band. But I'm not a musician, so I don't know everyone's process or what our common process is. But I do like process a lot. Like this podcast reflects a lot on process and people's visions and stuff. So I wanted to ask, like, how would you describe your creative process? And in that description, if any metaphor comes to mind, like that'd be kind of interesting and add some extra color too.
One word, serendipitous. I stumble upon things and then I expand upon them. But I hate to disappoint you. There's no concrete process to it. I don't have any methods or techniques that I apply whenever I write a song. Usually, what happens is that a fragment of a song comes into my mind. Usually, it's a piece of the melody with some of the lyrics. The
Hmm.
lyrics are the hardest part for me, usually. And I used to write the melody first and then fill in the lyrics. And the songs took a lot of time to write that way, um, because you had to kind of fit the words around the melody. So
Hmm.
nowadays, when I write, usually the lyrics come first and then I apply them to a melody. But the most effective way for me to write a song is to just get like a whole fragment, um, just sort of come to me, and you know, part of the lyric, part of the melody. I sit down with the guitar and I work it out, and then it just sort of evolves from there. But
That's
it's not the same every time, you know. So there's not like a set process. Like I said, it varies from song to song. I also like finishing songs quickly. I don't like it when they drag on. Um, Most of the songs that I finished, um, I wrote, within the span of like a couple of hours or a day, or a few days at most. There's one song which we'll be releasing at some point in the future, or we might get into that later on. I don't want to like skip ahead or
no,
anything.
no, it's okay. It's pretty organic. Yeah.
Yeah, but one song on our upcoming album, which we're currently working on here in Slovakia, took me almost 5 years to write, um, because I came up with a very cool riff in 2021, and a little bit of the melody, and it was so good. I didn't really know where to take it. I felt like whatever I wrote for it wasn't good enough. So the song went through like 5 different drafts. And then last year in December, I scrapped the lyrics I had before, and I just started writing new ones. And they were much simpler than what I was trying to come up with before, where I was sort of overwriting it,
Hmm.
because I wanted it to be like really good. So I tried a simpler approach, and I managed to finish the song. And I don't know if 5 years ago I would have been okay with the lyrics I wrote for it now, but I figured it's been long enough. The song deserves to be set free finally.
Yeah, yeah, it's fulfilling. Yeah, that's a rewarding feeling, regardless of what people make. Like just going back and having something that you
Yeah,
feel.
that's like
Yeah,
the sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's like that's the longest it took me to write something. 5 years almost.
it's good that you have that example too. Like I ask about process, not to find out like what structure people have for themselves, but like even you answering with like serendipity being important to you, like that just means you need to have time and space and openness. For sure.
Yeah,
Like I think I ask about process, or I like when people think about process as a prompt just because it gets people to discuss or reflect on like how they start creating. I think that the starting process is really exciting for everybody. It could also be painful for people too, but I think that's still exciting. Like you turn that pain into something.
yeah. When it comes to writing about pain, I find that I can't really write when I'm in pain,
Mm,
because then I write like self pity texts. Like I don't
yeah.
want to write self pitying dirges. So the songs that I wrote about painful experiences, I usually wrote sometime after those experiences.
Yeah.
Like I have to sort of remove myself from that feeling a little bit to be able to write good stuff about it.
I like that distinction, like giving it time and space, like separately. Like that's really cool. Like some could say like that's a really mature way of going about making something as a musician.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, works for me, you know. Other
Yeah,
people, it might work different for them. A lot of people like to write when they're in pain, and you know what they say, like you suffer for your art. Um, but I do have to take some time off from suffering to be able to write effectively about suffering.
exactly. Yeah, it's good that you're able to even like discuss that because sometimes it's too raw for people.
Yeah, then again, not everything I write is autobiographical.
Mm.
You know, sometimes they're just stories. Sometimes they're just words, and they don't really have any sort of a you know exact meaning behind them. And it's more sort of a you know up to your imagination to figure out what it means to you.
Yeah, it's good that I guess music can sometimes just leave an impression on people. Like
Yeah.
it just might be like an emotional fingerprint of someone or like a snapshot of like how someone felt, but then all of the specifics are up to the listener. Um, for anyone listening to this episode, to this interview, like you did, for those paying attention, you did mention that you're working on an album now,
Oh
and
yeah.
question number three gets into
Let's
that.
go. Yeah, let's go.
So I wanted to know, um, if it's even a distinction for you, but like, what do you want people to think when they hear the album that you're working on now?
Wow, these guys are really good. Did you
Exactly.
hear that solo? Oh, and the lead singer is really handsome too.
He sounds handsome, yeah.
So, yeah, aside from that, um, what do I want people to think when they hear the record? Uh, I don't know. To be honest, I don't think about it that way. Um, I don't know if that's really my focus to make people think something, at least not with the songs on this upcoming album. Um, this album consists of quite old songs, actually. Only two songs are quite recent. Um, yeah, just for context,
Mhm.
the album will feature 8 songs by me and 3 by Pandu.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
Pandu's songs are a bit newer than mine, but most of mine are actually quite old. In fact, one of the songs on the album is one of the first songs I ever wrote.
Whoa.
So back then, I wasn't really thinking about what people thoughts are going to be about the songs I write. I just kind of wrote songs for the joy of writing songs. So in a sense, I suppose that's what I want people to think about when they listen to this album. It's just the joy of music, you know, and the joy of songwriting, and you know, being able to put this gift to use, you know, this
Yeah.
gift of being able to create music.
That's so that's so hard. Yeah, it's
If
heartwarming, but
that makes
also
sense, you know.
it
Um,
it
I guess that's what
does. Yeah.
I guess that's what the point of this album is more than anything is the music. You know, the music's at the forefront, not necessarily any sort of um, meaning or philosophy behind it. They're just tunes,
Yeah.
you know. And I like albums. I like albums which have a philosophy in them or that have like a theme running through them, and they make you think. But I also like songs which are just filled with good tunes. You know, sometimes that's what you really need
Hmm.
are just a bunch of good songs.
Yeah, I thank you for like actually getting into something, even though it might not be super applicable. Like it doesn't have to be thought-provoking music, like intentionally, but Do you want people to feel like this is good music to listen to, or you want people to feel like, hey, this person,
Hopefully, I
yeah,
don't want
yeah,
them to think that it sucks.
no, no, yeah, yeah, you want quality, you want a connection with the listener,
Yeah,
yeah, you want
yeah, yeah.
good things, and I think in a way through answering the question, like you did answer exactly what the question was, but there's a paired question with it because
Hmm.
I did want to ask you not just what you want people to think when they hear the album you're working on, but what do you want people to feel when they hear the album? And you kind of got into that too. But
Hmm.
is there a different lens when you think about that question and
About
answer?
feeling versus thinking.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think the songs on this album are really gonna make you think, but I would like to imagine that there's a feeling attached to them. Um, but it's also quite a varied collection of songs.
Right. Yeah.
And the good thing about this album, the thing I really like is how varied it is. Um, and it's a very sort of colorful palette. So I think people will feel a range of emotions depending on the song they're hearing, and yeah, it will differ from song to song. Uh, Certain songs I think have a certain atmosphere.
Hmm.
Uh, there's a song on the record uh, which is called Autumn's Tune, which has an autumnal feeling.
Ooh, yeah.
Duh.
Colorful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
There's
favorite
another
season.
song, my favorite season. Yeah. Um, Give me small jacket weather any day. And there's another song called Storm Dancer, um, which has a rainy feeling. So, you know, like I said, it's a wide palette. But I like to leave it down to the people listening to the songs
Yeah,
to
you were saying, yeah.
decide what they mean to them, because they're, like I said, they're simple songs. I didn't really have any kind of you know goal in mind in terms of what I want to deliver emotionally with the album. So, um, but I keep talking about just myself. Pandu has songs on the album too, but I guess our philosophy was kind of the same. Like they are personal songs to us, and they come from places within us.
Hmm.
But we want people to attach their own feelings to it. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm kind of contradicting what I said before, but yeah, it's to summarize, it's a wide palette or a colorful palette of feelings from which we'd like our listeners to choose which
Yeah, that
feelings
is,
they want to attach to the songs.
yeah, I don't think, yeah, there's no sense of there being a contradiction.
Yeah.
For me as the interviewer or someone listening to this too, like, I think people as listeners could let us know if they're so inclined to, but really,
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's like my second interview altogether. It's my
no,
first interview in English and my second interview in total. So I'm still learning.
yeah, no need to apologize for anything, especially things that aren't necessarily true. I don't think you contradicted yourself
Yeah.
at all. Like I think if you're making an album and there's no intent going into making it that you want people to think a certain thing or feel a certain thing, if there's no like thematic goal per se, you're not locking yourself into something, it's pretty free and like you're saying, almost serendipitous to just having the collection of songs that you do have, you know, majority from you and three from Pandu as a collaborator. It's a good collection of like your skills and like your lived experiences. And I'm sure together, either when performing live or like just as a listener experiencing the album when it's completed, people will just feel invited into something. Like if something is colorful, if each track has its own sort of thing, then I think that's a cool collection. Some people look for music like that. And like you were saying, some people do intentionally create concept albums or thematic albums, and some people look for that too. So you're doing your thing. So there's no contradiction. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, actually. And speaking of like serendipity, um, quite a large portion of the album uh, has been recorded live, not live as in, at a show, but live in the studio, like it was us sort of jamming. So serendipity and happy accidents are kind of a running theme throughout the album, not necessarily lyrically, but more sort of in the sounds that appear on the album. A lot of it is sort of random ideas we came up with on the spot, either while we were recording the tracks or when we were, adding overdubs. A lot of the things you're going to hear were just kind of made up on the spot. And that's sort of what makes it special in a
That's
way, you
cool.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For anyone that isn't yet like educated on recording processes
Mhm.
or music production, like is there a distinction between what you just described and what people call as like jam sessions or like jam like recordings? Like what's is there like a big difference?
I mean, a jam session or a jam recording is sort of spontaneous. You decide on like a general um, form that you're going to be following, but then you like play sort of random things over it. Um, I wouldn't say we were really jamming, but we were
No,
playing
yeah, yeah.
together, and you know, a lot of the you know drum hits or guitar strums uh, were kind of random. It was like, oh, I'm just gonna try and do this now. And when we were recording the backing tracks for the songs, I don't think we ever recorded anything, the same way twice. Like
That's cool.
each backing track was sort of different, and we just picked out the takes uh, that sounded the best or that had the best kind of feeling. Yeah, but that's what I was trying to say about serendipity. The
Hmm.
word of the day, the word of the evening, is that uh, yeah, a lot of the ideas on the album were spontaneous and sort of came to us on the spot. So yeah, I like to think this album is, like I said, a very musical album. The musicality of it uh, is at the forefront, and the ideas and the feelings and all that was kind of spontaneous and you know
Cool.
evolved from the atmosphere uh, we were in at the time.
Yeah, it feels like you're saying it's not a live album, but I guess it helps me understand too. Like
It's an
you're
alive album.
alive. Yeah, yeah. It's not a live. It's yeah, it's a live, not a live album. A live, it's an alive album. Uh, that could totally be its own category now. Like you can be the forerunner, the leader of alive albums. But yeah, an openness. Like I think like when you're answering questions about thinking and feeling, like intentions going into making an album, like if there's just a general collection of things, like when you're recording, like an openness to have this thing sound different and not exactly precise. And you're not like deleting things and redoing them for the sake of like precision, but
I
you
mean, we
know,
were, we took our time to perfect certain aspects of it, but a lot of the basics were done fairly quickly and spontaneously.
so there's
So,
like discovery, like you're discovering things still, like while going through the process of recording. Is that something that's
oh, can you elaborate on that? I didn't really
maybe
understand
like
that question.
so when I brought up precision, like you're still
Mhm.
trying to you still have a goal in mind musically,
Oh yeah,
but in recording something, would you say like you've just been more open to things that happen? For
yeah.
you're making it feel alive, which is great.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
mean, it also just happens sort of naturally, like when you're singing a vocal, for instance, you get an idea for how you're going to sing it on the spot, you know? Like whatever you're feeling at the time is what comes out.
Yeah. That's cool and natural. Like this interview. We're doing something naturally. It's happening together.
Yeah, it's very rustic.
Ah, it is rustic. It is. So maybe it is
Natural,
a themed album.
spontaneous. Yeah. Well, we're called Rustic Revue after all.
I think it
So,
works if it's just in your DNA, and it's a great thing to like give to listeners, give to the world. Question
yeah.
five. Question five is the biggest question. It's not meant to be intimidating. It's just meant to be super open to. But I think we naturally get into it as you're thinking about completing an album that you're currently working on. Like, is there something that you feel like you're contributing to the world of music? Like you've gotten into already, like you want people to enjoy something, you want people to understand that you are musicians that are open to certain things happening in the process. Serendipity and something that thematically has come up in the interview. But is there something you might not even have like an actual answer right now. You don't have to, but like think about it and reflect on this recording. Like what's a contribution that you feel the album might make or something that you might want to make as a musician?
I don't think that's really my point as a musician.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the records I want to make are records that are going to break any new ground, you know? Um, because my process is so serendipitous and sort of based on uh, what I'm feeling at the moment or how I'm reflecting on a particular moment in my life. I suppose that's all I really want to bring to the table. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, honest, spontaneous reflections in the form of songs. And I suppose that's what Pandu's aim is too. Again, not to just talk about myself. Um, I feel like that's his goal as well. I don't think we're uh, the types of musicians to really push for any groundbreaking experimentation. We just kind of write what we feel. We write what we like. We write the kind of music we want to listen to, and you know, if that counts as contributing to the world of music, that's good enough for us.
I like that. Yeah. Like I think you've like throughout this interview you've discovered actual like straight answers to the questions, but you're not meant to do that. But I think it's kind of cool that within the process of chatting and reflecting, like you kind of come to some sort of conclusion, which is I think is a cool way to reflect because just being yourselves and being honest and sharing what you're going through in your life. Sometimes music doesn't actually do that. So I think
Yeah,
you're fundamentally are making a contribution whether you want to or not. But I appreciate that as a person that listens to music. So
yeah. I
thank
mean, I like music that uh, breaks new ground or tries things that haven't been tried before. But ultimately, the kind of music that really speaks to me are just good songs that I feel come from an honest place.
hmm
And that's the kind of music I strive to make. And I guess what Pandu strives to make, and what we as Rustic Revue are aiming for.
That's beautiful. That is a non-statement statement because because it's honest. Like I think that's a good thing to reflect on. And I thank you for reflecting on that with me.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Jacob of Rustic Revue is also, as you've politely reminded listeners, you're not all of Rustic Revue. It
No,
is you and Pandu.
me, Pandu, and uh, three other guys currently. Our Slovak band. Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool that
very
just
talented musicians.
Yeah,
all of them.
giving anyone context. So when this is out there in the world as a
Hmm.
podcast episode, episode 11 of Discovered Voices, there'll be info, context on YouTube for social media in the uh, podcast description. So you don't need to go into the formalities of like listing out things, but it'll be there in text for people.
Okay.
And if is there anything on YouTube from Rustic Review, just in case as a platform?
We've got songs from our first EP up on the official Rustic Review channel. So go ahead and listen to those. um, for now, that's it. But, there will be more.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you officially. Jacob,
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
thank you, thank you. Peace out.
Peace.